Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am Dungeon Master Bloodworth, and as you can see by the graphics, today's video I am going to be doing a preview slash review of AD&D Second Edition Supplemental Arms and the Equipment Guide. I picked this up a couple years ago to kind of fill in some of the gaps of my AD&D Second Edition collection. I'm kind of a completionist when I collect series of role playing books. Even though I had never played AD&D Second Edition back in the day when it was first released between '87 through '91, which was when this book came out. Once I got back into the hobby in 2015, and I started to replenish my collection because much of my collection was either lost during the decades or sold off in a garage sale in 2000. There was quite a lot of books that I had discarded and over the years, and then suddenly got right back into the hobby and said, you know what, let me replenish what I had given away or sold off or whatever. One of my big regrets, but once I started collecting primarily Dungeons and Dragons books, rule books and such, I started to pick up the AD&D Second Edition, and I started off with the core, of course, and I got the core revised, which I've already covered on the channel, and I started getting into the splat books, and I started to, well, let me start picking these up, and they weren't too expensive at the time when I was getting them, so I was fairly happy with it. I just recently made two purchases, getting the complete guide of necromancers and one other book. It slips my mind right now which one it was, to kind of fill out the rest. But arms and equipment I picked up quite a while ago, and I never really dug too much into it until now, because I am doing my shelf tour, and I like to have a full length video covering the product, the object or whatever that I'm going to then pick up in a short video of showing it off as a shelf tour. So, and here we are. So I started taking a look through this, and I'm one of the rare occasions of me covering one of these books and giving you a first look, and that's why this is unscripted and unchained, is that ultimately, and I'm not going to bury the lead too much, I find this book to be pretty useless, and and it's very rare for me to say something and to be so harsh with it. Now, I don't know if in 1991 this was a big wealth of information, but there are so many other D&D related, whether it OSR or others, third edition, fourth edition, or possibly fifth edition, arms and equipment guides that I think just do a better job than this does. Certainly, Castles and Crusades does a better job with arms and equipment as well, and I think that the statistics of the items are going to be very compatible anyway. So let's start taking a look at it, and and I'll start trying to make my case of why I really do feel this is useless. So found the flip through here. So I like this website. It's like an archive. You really can't print things out from here, and oftentimes they don't have the artwork attached to it. But it is a good resource to use if you're just looking to get the content directly out of these books here. So And let me give credit to where credit is due. So Grant Brochure is the design for Armorer, and we have Troy Christensen, John Pickens for equipment, for mounts and equipment, John Terra for weapons, Scott Davis for clothing, and so on. So there is color art and interior art. Um, all the interior art, or primarily all the interior art, is black and white. But anyway, let's go on. So flipping through, so here we have, and I guess it's going to go from lowest armor class to to the best. So the lowest armor class, other than just pure clothing, which is an AC 10, we have padded armor, and it gives you a description of it, and and just the conditions, like who would wear this and what under what conditions and such. Then we go to leather armor, and you can see it's not. I mean, here it looks like they're showing you what padded armor looks like on the leather armor page. And then let's see if leather armor, yeah, they really don't show you too much there of the leather armor. Then we have studded leather armor and spiked leather armor. Let's see if they have an image for that. Yes, this appears to be more studded leather armor than hide armor. And you can see it's just text and not the greatest representations of the actual armor. And it's always from the previous page too, which I really don't like that. It should be on the same page. Oh, I went backwards by accident. So here we have fur armor, then we go to scale mail. There's sea elf scale mail, there's coin armor. So some differences here. You only see two here. So you see the elven and you see the regular scale mail. So you don't even get to see what the coin armor apparently is. So Brigadine we're going to see on the next page. And again, just really hard to tell what it actually looks like. I mean, these are not the best images to use. I'm not saying the art is bad. I'm just saying the representation of the armor is lacking here. We have chainmail and ringmail, and you can tell that this is the chainmail and this is the ringmail over here. So chainmail is on the left. Not even a great representation of that either. And you can clearly tell that that's ringmail there. Again, not a very good view of it. We're going to go to bandit and splint. And I'm assuming that the one on the left is bandit and the one on the right is clearly splint. Bronze plate mail. So you're not going to see in a black and white picture what bronze plate mail looks like, other than perhaps just that it has these plates that are sewn onto or attached to usually chainmail on the underneath portion of it. And here is now these are more chest plates and then the armets and everything. This is not full plate mail here. Then you have field plate, which is AC2. And there you have your fuller plate mail armor that you're used to. Then you have full plate mail, which is AC1. And there you have that. Gnomish Workman's leather armor. And so here I think you would have benefited from a color image so that you can see what is what on his armor. Elven chainmail and magical elven chainmail. So just not a great depiction of it at all. And going on, so that's the other elven, then dwarven plate is going to be here. Then we go into shields, and they show you the various types of shields. Helms, various types of helmets. The first color image that we have here. They spend time on equipment for mounts and barding, and they have the various types of barding and just the AC. Usually not the greatest of pictures going along with them. Different types of saddles, and so on. Here we have the weapons section. So we have the arquebus, which is a firearm. You have battle axe. Not even the greatest depictions of them. Blowguns. So we do have an addition of some images of each of the weapon types and everything. But again, I've seen it so many other times before, just done better. They show you different types of quarrels and daggers and such. You don't get to the. I'm just going to skip forward until you get to the master stat section. But again, been done so many times better. So here you just have the master weapons chart, and it tells you everything about the weapons chart. One of the things that you see here, and I'll go to the next page so we can see it. Actually, they split it up wrong here, or they could have done it better here as well. But you see like the weapons chart. So let's look at let's look at a broadsword, right? So 10 gold pieces, a 4 pounds is its weight. It's medium. Its type is S. It's a slashing weapon. Its speed factor is a 5. So yeah, AD&D and second edition AD&D. So first and second edition use speed factors for weapons. They were meant to possibly split the difference in initiative and whatnot. I never used it when I was running AD&D first edition, and I wouldn't use it as a second edition thing. You can use it, I guess, as an initiative tiebreaker kind of thing. Well, whose weapon is actually faster? And whether or not that was the way it was meant to be used or not is different. But for the most part, I just found the book to be very underwhelming, and then they go into different types of clothing. So at one time or another, every dungeon master faces questions like, what's the difference between banded mail and splint mail? I mean, I know back then we didn't have the internet connection, the access that we have today, where you can just pull up pictures of things so that you can see them. So again, maybe I'm just judging this based on the fact that this is not 1991, and I'm looking back at 1991, and maybe this was a better resource for its time. Just switch views. For its time period, but looking back at it now and having seen so many other iterations of this kind of a supplement book, if you were looking to build up your collection or you're looking to run AD&D second edition and you don't have this book yet, I would find a different source, to be honest with you. I would pick up Castles and Crusades. They're coming out with their armory. I would certainly get that over this, or I would look at other editions or other OSR games that have weapons and armory supplements to utilize rather than this, because this is just not a very good depiction of it. So I know, very rare for me to talk about something and to go through it and to really just say that there is better out there than this. So still glad I have it as part of my collection, but it's one of those things that I wish I had done without. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please feel free to leave your questions and comments in the comments section, and remember to subscribe, like, share, comment, and hit that alert button so that you know when I'm dropping up other videos. Tonight I will be doing a live stream at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, talking about the OSR and just posing something out there that I kind of it's in my opinion that that the OSR and independent games publishers generate a lot less drama centered on their products themselves. That that you don't see with other bigger publishers, let's say. So yeah, I'm just going to get into that little discussion tonight. So feel free to pop in there as well. And I'm using Restream now instead of StreamYards. Really happy with it. I think that it's working. The transition to it was not just a cost saving thing, but I'm actually liking some of the other aspects and features that they give to me as well. So I'll see you later on this evening, hopefully. You all have a great rest of your day. Take care. Oh, and happy Rosh Hashanah for those that are celebrating. Enjoy your holiday. Take care.